Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and it is time for the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine Series Top Cut. Folks, we've had a long and grueling 7 rounds of competition, and I want to give a quick shout out to BARD'S for being on commentary with me during that devastating time. Really just miserable series of games. But we have whittled it down to the top 16, and we have got some good ones. Once again, running through the list of the top 16 decks, we have mekk-knight, Orcus, Dragon Maid, Zombie Lich Synchro, Guru, mekk-knight, Fluffle, Infernoble, mine. Infernoble, Dragon Link, Dino, Lich, Crusadia, and Dragon Link. Duelist Academy, thank you for the raid with a party of 71. Perfect timing, and a perfect time to introduce my co-commentator, MamboYGO. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, it's me, Jacob Fellatio, here to talk about my favorite game.
What's your favorite game, Jacob?
You know what, I don't want to start this early. Yu-Gi-Oh's great. Let's get into Crusadia versus Orcus.
Fantastic. Excellent. I'm excited as well. We've seen very little out of Crusadia. I mean, what really is there to talk about? It's just, it's Crusadia. Big number, hit hard. But Orcus has looked really strong over the course of this tournament. They got a lot of new tools. Rusty BARD'S is an insane, massive pop-off for a deck that's already really good. And I'm excited to see how that translates into actual play.
We ready?
We're ready. We are
Okay.
ready. All right, so we are in. The two of them are in as well, and we're all gonna have a big gay old time together.
Absolutely.
I gotta say, I am shocked that they are trotting out the bloated corpse of Halka Fibrax after you literally murdered it in cold blood.
Oh yeah, that was bar none. Just if you guys haven't punched Halka Fibrax in the face, you gotta try it once before you die.
It will absolutely outlive you. So I think this is actually where Shine 55 wants to be. They're on the draw. They have a ton of tools for going second. Orcus, of course, has no problem setting up boards through individual pieces of interaction. They love to wield the good effects of cards like Wyvern, and sweepers like Lightning Storm, which we know that Shine is maining. Crusadia is an OTK deck. This is not a combo-centered build, and as a result, they'll end on Equimax Pass. I think they've got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much on Equimax Pass with set power, maybe some backup, and then you could end on Avermax if you really want, but that's not a particularly strong card against a deck that has Dingirsu in it.
All right, there's the Equimax. Equimax Pass. You all wanted to see this, chat. You wanted to. We could have watched Dragon Link versus Infernoble Knight, a real matchup, but you all wanted to see this.
I wonder who won the RPS here, because I wasn't paying attention, because it is odd to see Crusadia go first.
I would imagine that Orcus won the RPS and made their opponent go second or go first.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Now, to be fair, if that is Crusadia power, which I believe it is, this isn't technically unkillable Avermax.
Yeah, almost literally unkillable.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go for a Symbol Skeleton off the Orchestrated Return, and ideally they've drawn something here.
Yeah, you have plenty of play starters, but as you can see them discarding Orcus symbol, that's one of their many bricks. But hey, that card's not half bad.
I've heard that this card is okay. Chad, are you familiar with the Scrap Recycler? Now, of course, you can't send Jet Synchron anymore, so we're going to have to settle for Crystron Rosenix. This is a Shine 55 special, and it has really come in handy so far.
Yeah, I remember, because, we've had 2 days to theorize lists, and Rosenix was immediately, and people were like, yeah, we just play Rosenix now. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's like, there's got to be something better, and it's like, oh, do you know it? No? All right, I'm playing Rosenix.
Right, yeah, Rosenix, very popular in very old Mermail builds as well.
Oh my god. Hey, and in Duel Links.
Yes. Duel Links, where Crystron's had a moment of being tier 1. And I just love Duel Links just for that, because sometimes you just get to say sentences like that.
I mean, it was more than a moment. It was a long format. All right, we're going to go for Scrap Wyvern here. Going to use the effect correctly after mishandling it on stream. Going to go for the Fridge. Going to bring back Scrap Recycler. Going to fire the Scrap Recycler for the second time this turn. And then see how far we can get.
You say misplaced. Strict benefit of Orcus is the fact that you have about 17 just insane extra deck cards you can go into. So it's like, I missed out on going into this. I guess I'll just go into Lib,
Yeah.
Dragoon. Like,
people pretend like, oh, well, the best way to play Orcust is you go Wyvern into Lib into Dragoon. It's like, no, one of these is going to either get negated or you're going to draw the Garnet for it. You're just going to have to be okay with that. And it looks like Shine 55 this time has drawn literally 0 Garnets and will be extending far past the point of no return.
oh yeah, like you said, the biggest benefit of Orcus is the fact that you can brick. Don't get me wrong, but you're literally almost always going to have a play available to you, assuming that your starter resolves. In this case, you can see what one scrap recycler is able to do, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Chat, you're absolutely incorrect. Duel Links Cristrons did get hit. Their trap got hit.
Yes, the Crystron trap card. As you know, trap cards do exist in this video game.
Yeah, I know it might be easy to tunnel vision onto them, just not being playable, but in Duel Links, like, Regeki Break is the best card.
Didn't it get power crept by Karma Cut recently?
Karma Cut is an arguable power creep because it only hits monsters, and there's a lot of, like, face-up spells and traps that you want to get.
Good point.
And, like, MST isn't in the format, so sometimes it's just blind MST. It's an absolutely interesting game because you can tell that they actually thought about a lot of design principles, which is not the case with a lot of a lot of the things you might be seeing on stream right now.
Preaching to the choir, brother. I've been on that tip for about 2 days now, nonstop.
All right, so we're going to go for the World Legacy World Wand in order to, I believe, bring back this copy of Nightmare Orcust. Is it time to go to the Orcust half of this deck yet?
I think that's now what they're committing to. They're kind of figuring, well, I can't actually do anything to this Avermax. I suppose, can they out it by battle through the use of Appaloosa?
Let me see.
Good.
I mean, its effect isn't gonna be negated because of the power, right?
Good point. Yeah. So yeah, they're basically looking to just set up the graveyard fully, just like the good old days, and then just have a bunch of interaction ready for next turn.
I think they're just gonna go for something like a Babel and then say, once that power's worn off, we're just gonna go into ye old Dingirsu.
Yeah, theoretically, they do have the symbol skeleton already loaded, so you could do the whole old school Dingirsu, make IP Masquerena kind of shtick.
And I don't remember if Shine 55 is the person who isn't, but one of the Orcust pilots who was doing quite well is not playing Dragoon. Just straight up not playing it. They're like, yeah, why would I introduce more bricks into this already garnety archetype?
I gotta ask, out of every game you've seen on screen, how many had Dragoon? Rough percent.
40, probably.
That's much lower.
There's a lot of Dragoon. We saw a ton of Dragoon.
Ain't that something? Yeah, it looks like they do want to go for the classic Dingirsu, get the symbol skeleton back. We've seen this play before.
Yeah. So Dingirsu will equip the symbol skeleton, will link off for something, be it Verte Anaconda or IP Masquerena, or both, depending on how many extenders we still have. If we have a danger, we could do both.
Are they on dangers too?
One of them was. Again, like, the availability of Bardish means that, like, extra dark monsters just become negates. They just become fog blades.
Right. Yeah, that's almost what everything in this deck becomes. It's just which very powerful boss that has like 17 effects am I going to end on?
Alright, looks like it's going to be Verte Anaconda.
Yes.
God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Keep it, I actually like this play. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Dragoon in and of itself is just so difficult to out in the Crusadia deck. Theoretically, it's not, because you have Equimax to just hit it really hard, but the actual loop is pretty fragile to any sort of interaction. But this is Avermax could stick. They might just forget to use Ding. Hey, they did draw a brick, actually. Dark Magician.
Bada bing. See, that means the deck is fair. They drew one brick, that means the deck is fair. And weird to see that they didn't do the Verte Anaconda play we saw a couple of players do today, where you activate its second effect to get it off the field so you don't get OTK'd.
Man.
Very dumb.
Why does it have that effect? What archetypal like tie-in does you make this monster dark attribute have?
Well, it's so that you can super poly your opponent's monsters.
Ah, I'm so silly.
Oh wait, did you mean from like a thematic perspective? Yeah, there's no reason.
Yeah. Yes, you can super poly into Triffy Overatum.
Yeah,
The classic.
Or I guess the good dark link or dark super poly target is a Predaplant. Maybe that's something. I don't know.
Sure. So you can make Bardish with Fridge. Ah, very good. Very good. Actually, wait, no, I guess they didn't because of Verity's. It's very fair restriction that balances it.
Yeah, see, Bardish is fine. It's not as powerful as Dragoon of Red Eyes, and that means it's fine.
Correct. So we have Revival down onto Avermax. So theoretically, this Avermax is really scary because it can now attack everything. And it also, that means it is going to beat everything on the board if they forget.
If they just turned off the monitor for the last like 30 seconds, oh man, they're so dead.
Yeah, they go for the blindfold strats where they get their like partner or something to click the buttons for them.
Yeah. Like, if this fire alarm goes off and they need, like, their dog to navigate the rest of the turn, they'll be fine.
If they put some mac and cheese in the oven and they're just really worried because the timer's getting kind of low and they really don't want to set the apartment on fire, and they really don't want that to happen on stream.
This is kind of crusty. Using Monster Reborn here to force out an early activation of the Symbol Skeleton, because they're targeting the Dingirsu. You know, ideally, you would have a response so they don't just get one over on you. Like, next leveling only works if you're operating a level above your opponent. And there it is! Okay, alright. Okay.
Multiple power.
Now, that said, there is a Dragoon on the field, so...
Are you on 3 power? We just... Sky Striker, Mecha Hornet Drones. Nope, nothing.
Alright, fine. And then, of course, Avermax is going to trigger, but, you know, there is an Appaloosa on the field, and it is still affected by cards. That one card in hand, I mean, if it's a Raigeki...
Man, if only.
It was kind of a cool play if, like, there wasn't a Dragoon. It would have worked.
I just love Dragoon. The first... Even now, Dragoon, I've read it. It has to be 40 times, and it's like, yeah, it really doesn't target or specify face-up monsters, does it?
So you keep reading and you're like, it can't be this good. There's no...
It's kind of like... I feel like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is also on that level of cards that read like custom cards that accidentally got printed.
Yeah, like...
John and Mark Konami are just sitting there like, John, we can't print this. And Mark's like, think about it.
Listen, my kid really wants it. They're a huge dinosaur fan.
And then they print like, I'm trying to think of like a comparable archetype that's just awful. Like Witchcrafter.
Mm-hmm. John, do you...
My daughter really likes Witchcrafter, but we don't like my daughter as much, so we're not going to make that as good.
John, I see that you've submitted the designs for the Witchcrafter cards. These were drawn by your child, correct? Yes, they were drawn by little Johnny. Do we need to have like an intervention for this kid? Do you think it's a good idea to be like enabling this?
Look, John, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think it's kind of weird that your kid's a weeb.
I'm not... Listen, I like a good Evangelion from time to time. I'm just saying, maybe a little, you know...
So,
older people.
Not to cut you off. So, like, mech archetype, right? And it's kind of like Witchcrafter, except nothing is hard once per turn. Is that kind of what you're getting at with the Evangelion reference? I'm thinking here we have, little blonde girl, because we got to avoid copyrights with, Asuka.
Yeah.
They pilot mechs.
Yeah.
And we just obviously make it so much better than every archetype that's ever existed.
Yeah. Like they strike down their opponents, we could call it.
Much like how Evangelion is better than any anime ever printed.
I agree. Thank you. All right, Chad, who's winning? I'm seeing a lot of votes for Orchist. I'm shocked to see that, truthfully. And then there's the play, baby.
All right. Now the duality of Orchest, baby. Here we go.
All right, like this is Orchest. Sometimes you open literally everything under the sun, and sometimes you open all the garnets, and then your opponent passes, and there's nothing for you to destroy with Wyvern, and the two of you stare at each other, and you say, "How did you get into top 16?" And the other one goes, "I don't know. My opponents kept disconnecting. One of my opponents was on Gishki and didn't even show up for their match."
Now, one of my opponents, they ended up playing the wrong opponent, but then instead of reporting it to the judge, I decided to watch anime for 20 minutes and eat some mac and cheese.
Oh my god.
This happened.
Oh, we're going for the fridge.
They passed a tribute into... Oh my god.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
I now no longer have any complaints about the format. This is what
good.
I've wanted to see for years.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, this is what they imagined when they printed Scrap Golem. It was a high impact card that took your normal summon and a tribute to get there.
It's interesting to see Crusadia Brick. They play
like the whole deck is Crusadias.
15 starters.
Okay.
Oh
well,
boy.
What are they going to reveal? Galatea.
Dragoon? That's crazy if they reveal Galatea.
Like here to kill Orchest, they took Lib. Or what do they got to do? They have Ding, and they didn't reveal Ding. Oh no, this is
very
the Orchest
standard
players.
Orchest extra deck on our screen now. Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine we probably have at least one set Fogblade, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that will probably end Crusadia's turn if they had a play.
This is so good, dude. I'm so happy. Oh man. For what it's worth, Chad, you don't get to see kind of under the hood of the Quarantine series, but Mambo puts up with the most asinine shit in taking results from players. The scenario where the person played a rando on Edo Pro and then went to go watch anime instead of reporting, that happened like round 6. Like 6 rounds in, they were like, now I'm going to forget how to do this.
They were both X3, so I just gave them a tag. I was like, this is so silly.
And like the opponent just was like, I don't know what happened.
2 Fogblade even. Yes, they did in fact open, I guess, like 3 Garnets, because Fogblade is still pretty darn useful.
Wow, and a tie here. Shocked to see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It didn't matter. I figured that would also keep tiebreakers fairly even, so I was like, eh.
There's a lot of scenarios like that where you're like, okay, so here's how the RC0 way to resolve this works. But when you're playing like over the internet on an automatic client, it's like, we're gonna have to get creative here. We had an individual enter and play 2 rounds, then post their list and realize they were playing 2 copies of a limited card in the extra deck.
I was so mad that they realized they hadn't won a round. I would have been so thrilled to say, yes, you have been awarded a game loss. Take that, or a match loss. Take that out. And just completely retroactively change the entire bracket.
Mm.
It is now. This is so funny because when you said mine, I was thinking the Leonards both losing, the father and the son, of course, but our good somebody, the Holy Spirit themselves, managed to get mine into top 16, but has now lost.
Oh, thank God. Zoroark 28 lost?
Yes.
Thank the
Our
Lord.
Fluffle player has made top 8.
Ooh, we'll watch Fluffle next round. What was the score?
2-1.
2-1. They really... Oh, man. I can't express how happy I am to hear that mine is not going to be winning back-to-back YCSs.
Oh, come on. Imagine the press. All of the good things people would have said about your tournaments.
Yeah, they would have been like, wow, these are super real. I'm so glad that MBT is doing this.
My favorite way to describe this event is usually, hey, man, it's better than a Kansas or Seattle regional.
Yeah, it's like, is it the most competitive thing in the world? No, but it's like 30% competitive decks. So probably better than any Great Plains regional for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, so true, unfortunately.
Going for Crusadia Testament here. God, this card is so broken.
Oh, absolutely. That card is incredible.
Now, it's a little better if you draw into things that you can play or activate.
Now, assuming they hit a power, this is quite good. Also, it's just like we said, duality of Orcus. They're 8 cards deep and have seen half of their garnets.
Feather
Ooh,
Duster,
hey,
your one set card. Hey, new card, PogChamp. It was in
yes.
FIP. How on earth did this happen? What could the 3 cards be? They can't be hand traps because they went through the entire Crusadia line. Realistically, a hand trap should probably deal with those. They can't be starters because otherwise they would have started. Is it like they would have even
Red Eyes.
they would have
Ancient
set
Cloak.
some stuff. It's got to be like DM Red Eyes, Wonder Wand, I guess.
Yeah, like there's actually so many different possibilities. It could literally just be like boots, like wand,
Nightmare
Red
Orcust.
Eyes. Yeah, it could actually be about 15 different cards that are all just the hardest bricks. Any like go second cards or like their going first cards they may or may not have cited in. Driver, that's a good one.
I feel like I'm always in scenarios like this, where my opponent's deck is like clearly much worse than mine, and then I draw like DM Red Eyes Fusion, double infip, and they're like, go.
My last invite back in January before the just ruin everything ban list where like Orcus died and well no like Harp got banned and all that when Striker Orcus was still a thing. I went 7-2 at a regional because I live in like the hardest region with a Sky Striker Orcus build, or not Orcus, Sky Striker Crusadia build. And yeah, a lot of people are like, dang, I really respect you for playing that deck up until I just absolutely cheesed at them so hard and won.
You like talk in the pregame and they're like, whoa, that's so cool. And then you win and they go, I'm going to kill you. You'd better
like,
run after this round.
It's like, okay, Kaiju? Oh, okay. Yeah. Lightning
So
Storm?
I win.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maximus? Oh, that's kind of neat. That's fine. I'll just win game 2, 3. Yeah, you can go first. Set there can be only one set summon limit.
It's like, we the control deck now, sorry.
Avermax pass, baby.
Avermax pass flip summon limit is just miserable. Just
Absolutely.
But it does work. Mm-hmm. And we may be seeing it now. I mean, we don't know if that card is Teekboo. I just assume that it's something like that.
Yeah. If you find Leonis here, you win.
Hand of Babel, DM, World Wand. Let's go!
We were close.
That was pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, we missed Babel, though. Mm-hmm. Or Babel.
I don't know why you wouldn't activate Babel so that you can symbol skeleton back a symbol skeleton here. The double fog.
They had a double symbol? Interesting.
The double fog blade is the funniest part to me. It's just like, what are the chances?
Well, it's a shame too because, like I said, those fog blade probably could have stalled long enough for Fridge to win the game.
Yeah,
but
for the lightning storm,
is just why is that card printed?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, you don't need it anymore. You don't need it anymore because they have Feather Duster.
Right. I was talking to the Guru player who made it. I'm thinking, you dodged a lot of Feather Dusters and Lightning Storm this event. They went, yeah, correct.
You are right. That's the problem with Guru. It's like, what beats Guru? Pretty much everything under the sun. You know, evenly matched beats Guru. Lightning Storm beats Guru. Feather Duster now beats Guru. But sometimes they just don't have them. Sometimes they don't have them. You get to walk away with it.
Yeah, I remember because, I have some opinions about the recent ban list, but a lot of people complaining about, oh my god, Combo took such a big hit with these 2 Call by the Grave. I was like, yeah, man, you got to lose your 2 Call by the Grave. Now I have to play around Duster evenly, Lightning Storm, Red Reboot, Pankratops, Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone, Towers, monsters that banish themselves. I'm trying to remember the whole list, but it went. I remember consulting the council, and it was like 50 cards. It was so many cards.
It's literally like that meme that's like, you'll never know the pain I feel, 2 Called by the Grave. It's like, haha, sorry.
Call by the Grave limited, misgun hit. Yes. Very good.
Okay, so that was a pass, if you were paying attention. That was a pass. Into Gearsu. Okay, let's go.
What an interesting match.
So this was a very interesting best of 3. The winner of the die roll made their opponent go first. And then in game 2, both players passed for 5 turns. And then in game 3, they passed for 1 turn. And now they are
still a
ashing the
die roll
Girsu.
format. Technically still a die roll format.
Does this matter, by the way? If you ash this Gear, this is what I hate. The Girsu is an Orchist. So if you ash it, you could just make the goddamn monster.
I don't think it matters. What are you milling, I guess?
You would mill the World Wand so you can make Lib, but like,
yeah.
Oh no, I can't make Lib. I don't have any other starters for my plays.
Right. Now, yeah, I think it hurts this deck less than every other deck in existence. Like because Girsu's played in so many different decks, and it's the most powerful card in that deck. This deck in particular doesn't take too much fit. Now, this is interesting.
This is interesting. If they reveal Galatea here, it's funny. No, not Lib, dude. They can't go into Lib.
I think that's their only legal target. Like, there's no point in flipping anything else.
You don't have a Dragoon in here? You didn't want to do Dragoon?
Wait, I gotta agree. The Crusadia extra deck is not very tight. You're on like 3 of Magus, maybe 2 Leonis, 1 Spatha for weird situations.
I can't
2
imagine.
Equimax, Avermax. You have 5 bonus spots. If you're siding in Winter Cherries, I think that's where those 5 spots go to.
I can't imagine where Lib takes up a spot for Cherries, but all of the Orca stuff doesn't. Dragoon doesn't. Verte doesn't.
Yeah. It's funny that the only World Legacy archetype that didn't get anything from Girsu is Crusadia, unfortunately. And there's, well, it paid off a little bit. Then again, I mean, they couldn't have made it anyway, like we mentioned. But, yeah,
you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, we did it.
This match is ruining my life. I could feel my... yep. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Winter Cherries number 2.
Ash Blossom is, fun fact, the only hand trap that stops raw Red Ice Fusion.
Fusion.
I think. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, Dragoon has made it onto the field, and now we can stop fearing.
This card, it puts a lot of fear in me. That's for sure. Us crawler players didn't get anything from that card either. You got a 1-card Deus Ex.
I was like, what are you talking about? Lib made Deus Ex playable.
Yeah. Nice try, Spieler.
All right, let's see Lava Golem.
Somebody making the call in chat. I would be wild.
Infip the ding. Okay, all right. I'm still with you. What's step 2?
Perfect. Now we Lightning Storm.
Which accomplishes nothing.
Yep. I will say, we haven't seen a single kaiju out of our Crusadia player, which is really unlucky depending on their ratio.
They did kaiju the first time. All right. I mean, you kind of got to do what you got to do in this scenario. If you infip and they Dragoon, maybe your shit resolves, but I mean, seems unlikely.
Yeah, the problem here with your aggro deck, like Crusadia, is you're so far behind. It's a pipe dream to win this. Now, theoretically, power to beat the Dragoon negate could be huge, assuming these aren't at least 1 Fogblade permanent.
Jeez, come on.
Cool interaction, though. Arborea will keep your dude alive when the Dragoon inevitably negates your guy.
Awesome. All right, here's the Regulex. If there's a monster. Okay, this demands the Dragoon.
Somebody did point out that there was potential to go into Alka-Fibrex there, but
just go into access code and walk over it.
Well, that'd be crazy.
Okay, I mean, if the last card is summonable, we could theoretically do it.
They they didn't get to Draco, so they can't get back something like Maximus here, which would get rid of Dragoon. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, okay. I mean, this outs Dragoon. Wait, no, it doesn't. It has to activate.
They've already they used the Dragoon, right? Yeah,
they used it to stop the link too.
Now you just Fogblade, and on attack deck, they either have to not hit or tribute to negate, lose their continuous effect, and yeah.
I mean, this is big. This is big number.
Yeah, bigger than any other number on screen. really thinking about this one too. So there
It's
is
like
some form of interaction.
I can't imagine what you would be thinking about. I guess if you activate something, realistically, the Equimax can fire to negate it, but who cares?
Yeah. Maximus is not mandatory. That is a trigger effect.
All right, let's go.
I assume if you're on Imperm, you just flip it here, and then it's going to lose its attack boost.
Same.
Worse.
Same. Way worse. This does force a replay, actually.
Oh, yeah. Number of monsters change, correct.
All right, okay. We get to live. I mean, it's going to be killed by a Dragoon, and then they will be dead. They can negate it and then be beaten by Dragoon. Okay, so they have to go into Avramax here, or else.
Dragoon's text, though, is kind of funny. Has a funny interaction with Avram. Because, unfortunately, activate Dragoon effect is its game, I'm pretty sure here. Also, do they have... No, they don't have a symbol here.
We just need a reborn. Rosenix. Yeah, okay. All right, out comes the token.
All right. Really dragging this one on. Hey, yeah. They found it.
Let's activate Dragoon. Well, they can't target it, so it should be fine, right?
Right. Oh, wait, what happened?
Well, that's Luna? Weird. Huh.
Luna?
That's so interesting. Wait a minute. Can we get some @Alpha Cretins in chat? How were they able to do this? They wouldn't put a card this strong that doesn't target, would they? That's crazy.
Well, a very interesting match to start us off.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are back with the top 8 of the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. We've got some fantastic duelists still in, and a fantastic person behind the desk as well. How you doing today, Mambo?
I am doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. We've got Burrito Man 93 on Dragon Link. We've got Crazy Wizza on Infernoble Knight. We've got Boki Man on Zombie Eldritch Synchro. We've got Evil Clone on Guru. Shine 55 on Orchist. Mr. Ease on Fluffle. Mount, Fuji, and Gil, our feature match on, respectively, Dragon Maid and mekk-knight. Any idea about this? About what we can expect going into this game?
I'm expecting the mekk-knight player to go second.
Yeah, probably. But more important than all of that, it's time for us to recognize the fallen. Those individuals who made Top Cut and failed to convert to Top 8. Alright, can you all hear? Good. Oh, that's a little loud. There we go. Not Sampai, playing mekk-knight. Zoroark 28, playing Mystic Mine. Daddy DZ on Infernoble Knight. Lazzy on Dragon Link. Graboid Fan 31 on Dinosaur. Dive Missile on Sacred Beast Eldritch. Hell's Ruin on Sacred Beast Eldritch, but with Dogmatica this time. And Chaos Lock on Crusadia OTK. I'm so sorry, but you all are bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, you're just not good.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. All right.
We gotta watch some good players play Yu-Gi-Oh! Tonight, and for my perspective, that means watching the one, the only Besaid Lolai play some Dragon Maid for their second consecutive run through the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine Series Top 8. Big shouts out to this individual who has top 8'd literally every YCS they've entered, and then immediately lost with the exception of the time they got second. That's like 4 times they've lost in top 8. So this is a pretty big choking point for them.
But they won't choke this time. They got this.
and they say, I have girls in my house, so sorry if I take a sec. Already flexing. You know, so much of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about the mental game. You gotta keep your mental strong.
Can we get a report? How are we sure there's no coaching going on?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I mean, have you seen some of the quality plays in this series so far? Any input is probably better than what these people have been doing. Parlor Dragon Maid coming down and going to be hit with an Effect Veiler. That really sucks.
Oh yeah, that's what, your second best play starter, and then all of a sudden you have nothing.
There we go.
I wonder. I just cannot get this like idea out of my head of just these girls over at their house just coming up to them while they're playing. Oh my god, that's so cute, and it's just such a funny image to me, like a sitcom.
Sit down. I'm trying to win a tin of lost memories.
Yeah.
Is this a non-meta tourney? Asks FaZe COD Fan 8. It's not. It's not. Chat just doesn't want to see the meta decks for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, can you blame them? Honestly, Shiyu Pass and Dragoon Pass, 2 sides of the same coin.
This, by the way, is hilarious. Going from Almirage into Parlor, bring back Parlor, going to LP. LP get moved by World Legacy Guard Dragon. You thought this turn was over, didn't you?
Yeah, literally, I can already tell this is the greatest Dragon Maid player on the planet.
Yeah. I mean, probably true at this point. Mount Fuji, with a non-zero amount of online tops, is likely the greatest Dragon Maid player on the face of the earth. I mean, the bar is just so low.
I don't know. Pack's on Dragon Maid now. I don't know.
Pack's on everything.
Getting there.
Pack will literally pick up like reactors, make a 45-minute video about how to play it, and then be like, "Okay, we're not really playing that deck. Come on."
True, I suppose.
All right. Crossroads Dragon, the summon. I mean, that's a way to get a down arrow for the Pisty. We're going to, using Chamber Dragon Maid, the one that we actually want to resolve, we're going to get the Fusion spell. And wow, Dragon Maid Hospitality, pretty strong as well.
Yeah, this card is similar to, what is the 10U card? Cycle of the Dragon Souls, Monster Reborn, and a Foolish Burial. Pretty good.
All right, so we'll bring back Parlor Dragon Maid and send Lorepar, the associated Parlor Dragon monster.
Mm-hmm. Now, from here, you have a few options. And you still haven't fired Pisty, so you can just keep on rolling here. And yeah, honestly, because my knowledge of Dragon Maid is quite low, I thought Veiler on Parlor was just turn, but they're on the more Dragon Link heavy variant.
Now, notably,
well played.
Yeah, Mount Fuji's build isn't necessarily too Dragon Linky. Like, it doesn't go into any sort of synchro monsters or combos like that. But pretty consistently, it can go into, say, like, I don't know, Dragoon plus Xiao, which is probably enough to win the game against most decks. However, that was a super crazy Nibiru, and I think the turn is just, like, not only the turn, but also the game is likely over, provided they find literally one mekk-knight.
Yeah, that was very, very well played.
And I mean, Gil's just been taking names all tournament. The last remaining mekk-knight player after Sampai got out. This deck always shows up at the Cwarantine series specifically. I don't know if it's something about Edo Pro that makes people turn off their brain in terms of columns, but those matter.
We have seen a lot of columns come into play over the handful of times even I've been viewing the series, for sure. One benefit you get is you get to place a lot of these tokens. So yeah, search Girsu, search Purple. There are actually, in terms of raw power, there aren't a whole lot of stronger plays than that.
Yeah.
Trap Nibiru, OMG, the outplay. To be fair, that Nibiru on that particular point was very smart.
That's a very late Nibiru. Like, understand that, like, Nibiruing at LP or Pisty point would have been... It would have made a lot more sense, unless you were suspecting, like, the Dragon-made fusion monster to come up. I guess if you see changeover, you assume that, like, something's up. But knowledge of decks that are not necessarily, like, unplayable, but maybe rogue. I mean, that's a lot of what separates a good player from a bad player.
And I know all about bad play.
Yeah. Don't we? Don't we both? Don't the pair of
Hmm.
us?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So from here we're just counting. Okay. So
Oof.
let's not count anymore. That should be it.
I was
I,
actually about to say, I was like, it's interesting that they put that token in attack. There isn't actually a whole lot of in-archetype ways to get over that, with the exception of, Lib's effect, obviously.
mhm.
But there you go. That
All right.
one of mind control.
Let's see the drowning mirror force.
Imagine. I mean, it outs Dragoon. That's not the craziest tech I would have seen all day.
Well, no, it's even better against Dragoon because Dragoon will wipe your field on the way. So it'll
Hmm.
always be online. All right, pretty quick game one there. Don't want to, spoil anything, but when I watch Mount Fuji's games, they tend not to go very well.
Yeah, I mean, law of averages. You just kind of get unlucky sometimes when you're on the feature, but one of these days, considering th're always here, they'll get there.
I mean, they made it to second place last time. And they've
Hmm.
beaten a lot of really good players just by virtue of actually being good at Yu-Gi-Oh! Something that is, I mean, it's in rare supply.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, all the people in this top eight and most of the people in top 16, not going to name names, but no, I'm kidding. Everybody that made it's very skilled, and you kind of get to see it here for sure. I mean, again, obviously the Nibiru play might have seemed quite simple, but given the board state, it was smart to kind of hold it for something that actually threatened you. Because all things considered, they really could have went for a line of play that allowed them to go into Appaloosa there.
So despite winning or losing the first match, it looks like chat is 100% sure that Dragon Maid is going to take this thing. And to them I say, all right, if you say
Yeah.
so.
It's just that underdog mentality, because now we see a Gearsu resolving, and
Oh.
you ever seen a Gearsu resolve?
Gearsu is just, it's so good for mekk-knight. Gives them a turn one play and sets up columns on their opponent's turn. Like, you can't really
Mm-hmm.
ask for much more.
Interesting to note they're actually on the World Legacy World Armor. There's a debate. I'm sure one of our former champions, Rycape, who was on World Legacy World Chalice, would have a debate on it. But this is one of the reasons it's really good. You're going to set the succession, summon it back, and now it's going to get you another World Legacy card.
Can we see scars? Can we please see scars? Can you add
Theoretically, if
scars?
there is a blue or purple already in hand, then yes, we could.
Come on. Ah, secret. Boo. Boo.
Trying to be a control player.
Imagine playing optimally. Couldn't be me, chat.
we always go for the suboptimal stuff. Spicy techs no longer exist. It's all math now.
I guess I could just straight up pull up Gil's deck.
Yeah, they already had blue in hand. They could have had it. What if the scars is already in hand? True.
Oh yes. How silly of us.
Theoretically.
All right, let's see if there's even a scars in this list.
Gil making a little bit of a call. There must have been some unprompted delay there, and they're thinking, and they're making the hard call that this is probably Nibiru.
Ugh, gosh. All right, so mekk-knight of the Morningstar going to get a World Legacy mekk-knight memory, and that's just it. That's just the end of the game. No scars. Why even watch?
Why even bother? A 90%. Man, 90, much like how 90% of Yu-Gi-Oh players are not very good, 90% of you have voted for Dragon Maid.
And CJ Alex coming in hot with the 29,000 channel points.
The wrongest of all.
Well, nice to see Dragon Maid solidarity, if nothing else. All right, yeah, so down comes Key. No more trap effects for the Dragon Maid player.
Well played. Here you go. Now, interestingly, you can just shuffle this Nibiru right back. If I remember how Avermax works. Yes, it can.
All right, so here comes Avermax, the boy. Going to trigger the effect of the graveyard.
Ah, very smart. Removing the
That's
token so that way, yes,
hilarious.
you don't give them a free zone. Very smart.
Wow, I like that a lot.
Every time we watch a mekk-knight game, we actually see plays like that where we're just like, ooh,
Yeah, like, oh, I learned something today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, mekk-knight is one of those decks where when you put it in the hands of an
Oh.
extremely skilled player, oh, that's interesting. Oh, what a tech.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. All right. So Red Eye's Fusion fails to resolve in the face of an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Whew. Okay. Maybe we actually will get to see Yu-Gi-Oh! Here today.
Yes. But to finish the thought there, every time we see a mekk-knight player on stream, it is one of those decks where in the hands of an extremely skilled player like Gil, like Rycape, who has won this event, one of these events before on mekk-knight, it is an extremely underrated deck. And I think that's why a lot of people don't pick it up.
At end step, that World Legacy Memory coming out, going to get a purple, and the Secrets as well. Jeez Louise. Oh, Secrets can bring back hand. Silly.
Indeed. Yeah, that is a fun fact that this card does just say level 5 or higher monster. One fun interaction is bringing back an artifact Scythe.
Just Sanctum numbers 5, 6, and 4.
Skyhawk making a very good point that the person who won Swiss going undefeated also won mekk-knight. So yeah, if you're a really good player, if you think you're really good, pick up mekk-knight. You'll find out apparently because you'll just win all of your games.
Mm-hmm. All right, so from here we can pretty much do anything if you're the mekk-knight player. You can banish purple for a Girsu. You can go through that line again. You can just have a Girsu in your hand. That works too. You've got the hand, so Lib is online probably. As long as you do something like send a World Chalice. Looks like they are on both, in fact.
Very interesting. It hits... I was actually thinking, too, because there's a lot of small tweaks. You can theoretically play a Symbol Skeleton in that column as well as that slot as an extender as well, but interesting to be on both. I like that.
Oh, is this the end of the game? We can Red Moon to pop this card. We can banish the purple for, I don't know, a blue or an indigo. It depends on how many more we have in the hand, but this is dangerously close.
You're just a touch off. I wonder access code might be in this deck as well, though. Oh, Lib's not on summon. That's right. It's just an ignition.
Yep.
You get to do it again.
Cool. I have no idea what these cards could be to be facilitating a break like this.
Yeah. It's actually another fun fact about the mekk-knight deck, because it actually has about 30. Where you don't play Hulk in this deck. Lib basically is your Hulk. Mm-hmm. That card is so good in this deck.
In this one, pretty much specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here too, you have such a dominating position where if you make the Morning Star here, you can lock down 4 columns, because you'll have 1 for purple, 1 for the Morning Star, and then you'll get 2 with that Indigo Eclipse you'll probably want to bring back.
Here comes the blue. Blue's okay here. It's not fantastic. You can summon it, but you don't get anything for it, so you probably are just holding it until you see what your opponent's up to. Going for a Morning Star here. Maybe going to use Morning Star to get... I mean, what could you possibly still want?
Is Indigo a hard once per turn? Ah, never mind. I feel like it probably is, but it's one of those cards where it's a really funny card to have hard once per turn compared to, so many different cards.
Going for Parlor here probably just prompts out the second copy of World Legacy Secret. Yeah, we'll summon a World Legacy to that zone. Does not matter that it activated before the monster was there. We'll get the purple. That monster is negated, and oh boy, that might be all she wrote for Mount Fuji.
Yeah, that is one of the brutal parts about your Red Eye's Fusion getting ashed, is since you didn't negate the whole activation, the Red Eye's Fusion will still resolve, locking you out of summoning, normal or special summoning, for the rest of the turn. So that was pretty much just a shotgun. Man, I hope this gets there.
And there are scenarios in which it would have.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, I gotta go. The girls, they're swarming me. And just like that, unfortunately, Mount Fuji's top 8 competition in the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series comes to an end. Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are back with top 4 of the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series. We have a bunch of really cool decks in the top 8 different ones, but only 4 made it to the next round. Funny how that keeps happening. We've got Shine 55 on Orchest versus Gil on mekk-knight, but we featured the pair of them a fair amount, so I thought I would give them a break and take a look at the other match. Burrito 93 on Dragon Link, who we have yet to feature, versus Bokiman on Zombie Synchro Eldritch. This is a version of Synchro Eldritch that is playing Unizombie and Gozuki to send Plague Spreader to the graveyard, kind of akin to how old Zombie Synchro would work, except they're using it for absolutely busted Halka-Fibrax setups akin to Synchron Eldritch, now that Jet Synchron's dead. With me again for the third round tonight is MamboYGO. How are you doing tonight, Mambo?
I feel so much better after our commentary from last round.
Oh yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you missed out. You really should be watching me on Twitch as well when I'm live at twitch.tv/MBTYugiO. But we just went off the rails. It was not, just also, not talking about you. It was a Dragoon Mirror. What did you want?
Yeah, also if you're, it's September, come support your favorite stream.
Oh, that's interesting. It's September. That's so interesting. Now, there aren't super great September bonuses this time, but there are bonuses, which is more than I can say about other months. And as I am a Twitch partner, if you're subbing with Prime that you got from giving Jeff Bezos your money, I would get more money than an affiliate would, hypothetically. So, if you would like to stretch your dollar farther, and be forever brutalized in a YouTube video, this will be on the channel.
Taking a bigger cut. Yeah, listen to him.
All right, so we've got some pretty interesting decks here. Looks like Bokiman has won the die roll and will be going first. They're leading with a White Rose Dragon, which is, nope, this is Burrito Man. No.
White Rose Dragon, a small brick, because now you can't extend with the Red Rose.
I kind of like this. White Rose Dragon as the normal summon being met with an infip on the striker. I mean, this is one of those hands where it's very possible they just don't have any extenders. Unfortunately, they do. Out comes the Quick Launch, and Rocket Tracer has made it onto the field.
Emergency teleports at 1. Quick Launches at 3. Note the problem.
The problem indeed.
Yes. Now, I will say the boot sector launch not being guaranteed in hand does matter a lot for your combo here, but the best thing about Dragon Link is the fact that it's Dragon, so it has every good card in existence.
And by the way, pretty clearly there was going to be something else. You don't infip the Striker Dragon unless you have a follow-up hand trap, and Valoring the Romulus turns off either the Ravine or the Dragoonity Divine Lance, and likely, causes a pass turn. And somehow, after losing the die roll, Bokiman has made it to their main phase. Wiping the Romulus against Dragon Link is fantastic. It literally doesn't play a second copy. They won't be able to access the LP nearly as easily without using Divine Lance into Phalanx. So, provided you can wipe this board or set up any sort of interactive Eldritch combo, you might just walk with this.
It's a good look. I mean, so what we're seeing from Bokiman is the New Age combo Eldritch build as the normal summon Plague Spreader. This is the effective, not as good, but effective replacement for Jet Synchron.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is not as good. Jet Synchron, for example, discards the card, which is way more relevant, but in some combo decks, maybe you want a Garnet back in your list, and Bokiman is playing a deck akin to Combo. There's some interesting stuff in here that I hope we get to see. We're going from Crystron Halka-Fibrax into another Plague Spreader Zombie here, and just like you would in Infernoble Knight, we're going to go from Halk into Link Cross to make a Martial Metal Marcher and bring back your 2-star tuner.
Fun fact, Plague Spreader, not a once per turn.
It is not. Nibiru, however, is a once per turn. It's coming down and will clean up this board state. Wow, Burrito Man on main deck Nibiru in Dragon Link, and really that showcases probably why they were having a little trouble assembling a combo without extenders. Going into a Link Spider here, likely that's in there to send the trap monsters to the graveyard, but I guess does its job just fine. And realistically, we could bring back the Plague Spreader, which is what we're doing!
Yep, there you go, see? Not a hard once per turn. Good job. But they've used Hulk. Oh yeah, that card exists.
Ah, yes.
Right.
And you think, oh, so but they only have access to 2 monsters. What on earth could they possibly do with 2 monsters? What could 2 monsters assemble in this day and age? And there it is. God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! So this isn't lethal, but it's pretty close. We're going to be able to use Dragoon to pop this copy of Nibiru. And then we're going to be able to deal 3,000, followed by 35. Pokemon gets to say, pass turn, you don't have Romulus. I know you don't have access to Boot Sector launch. I have a negate. In your 3 cards, at least 2 of them are going to have to threaten either Dragoon or me, and I don't think that's very likely.
Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ, come on. Cursed Elden, the last card, means that they'll be able to keep a card in hand for the Dragoon while getting advantage every turn. This is disgusting.
Brutal for sure. I mean, this was actually kind of what I was afraid of watching these games, where it's like you play through 1 or 2 hand traps and then you just make the Verte.
Yeah, so this is absolutely not resolving. There's a 0% chance.
Stunned. I would be stunned.
Yeah, there it goes. It's like, do I... Ooh, but the Gamma follow-up. Okay, all right.
This is huge. 2 bodies on board, including a 1-card Hulk now.
And notably, the Seyfert gets to resolve now. It's even better than trading for it. Burrito Man actually comes out ahead, and...
They might take it now.
That might be the end of the game. What a weird back and forth.
Yeah, they don't have their Romulus. Their Striker Dragon got negated. They can still get to Boot Sector, assuming they are on a second copy of Striker, which I would be surprised.
We'd have to go from Hulk into, like, a Dragon Tuner to go into Striker. We'd use Striker for Boot Sector. We can get out the Tracer, and we can go into a Borreload that can walk over the Dragoon.
Yeah. Or steal it.
That is pretty good.
Oh, wait, not that Borreload. Oh, imagine, though. Yes, my favorite part of the Dragon Link deck, and I'll never let it go, is playing Phalanx. I love the fact that they play Dragoonity Phalanx.
Phalanx, because of the, like, Dragoonity Divine Land stuff, is so silly. Mm-hmm. Wow, and the last card in hand is a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Jesus, that's strong. Okay,
People ask a lot, when are we going to get to the format where normal summon Seyfert is just as scary as, the old riveting tales of normal Jet Synchron, normal Armageddon Knight? This might be the format. Because that's where we are right now in this current board state.
Wow, this hand was unstoppable. For such a bricky hand turn 1, I can't believe how well it came together in the subsequent turn.
It's funny. Gamma kind of coming into the meta. I think a lot of people, it was really the Numerons coming out there. Like, there's only like 6 or 7 cards that are actually hard counter to the S0, so they started bringing in Gamma because of its utility against everything. Everyone realized, wow, this card is really good.
Yeah, Gamma's always been super strong, and it boggles my mind that it was not playable for as long as it should have been. It was like, like I said, I think I predicted this really early on with Numeron. Numeron, people were afraid was just going to take over the meta, and we were going to see S0 pass all day, and of course, it didn't. Like, the Yep double deck was a complete meme. No one ever played Memories of Hope very seriously. Some people did make S0, but in decks that were better served doing other things. That might change now that Jet Synchron's banned. But I remember thinking, all this is going to do is change the hand trap math. It's going to get people to play Gamma. It's going to get people to play Ogre, maybe. And it's going to get people to play Infib. And that's it. And that's all it did. People just started jamming those hand traps, and they were like, if you're dumb enough to show up with Numeron, I'll kill you. Also, I'm playing a good deck.
Speaking of good deck, Boral Sword Dragon?
Yeah.
I like that card.
This is like the last deck playing Boral Sword Dragon, and boy, is it playing it.
Yeah, it's really funny, because you look at that LP and that Pisty lock, like, oh man, I'm locked only into dragons. What's my best boss monster? Boral Savage, Boral Sword, Boral Load. There's just a million of them. Yeah, this is game, right? Yeah, because you're getting 45 here. You can attack again for 4K. Yeah, this is very much lethal.
Wow. And a little bit of back and forth, but after a pretty pitiful turn 1, it looks like Burrito Man is going to be able to walk with it, and is currently 1 game away from making it into finals. Burrito Man, a well-known, good player. Happy to be seeing them get success.
I have a lot of respect for Burrito Man because I'm pretty sure all they do is play Yu-Gi-Oh, and it always pays off, and they just have a good mindset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, look at us. So
yeah, exactly. Just terrible waste men.
Yes, correct.
I will
the tales
say
of the waste men run deep, and they are very funny.
Burrito Man won like a regional and asked to be on my channel, like with a deck tech, and I did it. And I remember the comments were like, it was like a Sky Striker build, and it was one card different than one that had won a YCS. And he explained the card choices and was like, yeah, I mean, I thought the person who won the YCS had really good, convincing arguments. And so I changed one thing to account for a slightly different meta, and then I played it. And the comments were like, filthy net decker, anyone could win with this. And it was like, dude, clearly not. Like,
I love people that cry net decker, not realizing that like crowdsourcing is one of the like most important things in a community.
Especially a community where like you have to get a sample size of like 300 games in like 2 days.
Yeah. Which Burrito probably doubled that, knowing him.
Extremely, extremely nice person, and when people give him shit for net decking, it falls off his back, you know?
Oh, yeah. Very happy to see their success. Same with Moki here as well. This game I'm not quite familiar with, but they have, from the games I've seen and the results too, because again, I was locked into the Matrix, getting to see and going through tiebreakers and stuff. They are another person that played almost all like big names, like hitters all around.
There are a couple of people in Top Cut, and I'm glad they're in Top Cut, who had like comically bad runs. Like runs against like every single like, oh god, here comes the gamma on the Hauka Fibrex. Every single previous Quarantine series winner, plus like the 3 or 4 gimmicky like mine players who could just knock them out for no reason. I feel so bad for them.
Another great Leonard moment in the tournament, as the CWS 8 gave us, not only Jeff's win, but the moment of Jason and Jeff back-to-back father to son Kamehamehaing Stevie Blunder was so funny. But then today, them both going 1-2 drop in round 3, and then Jeff DMing me, well, Jacob, that's it for the king. The Leonards are going to go to McDonald's and get the new Travis Scott burger. And I didn't know what to say. I was just like, Jeff, enjoy, man. You're living your best life, and I love you, man. All love, man.
Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go enjoy the Travis Scott.
I swear to God, he must work in marketing for McDonald's, and it was just, I love Jeff so much. Hail to the king. Hail to the king.
Jeff is another person with an unreal attitude. The amount of shit that people give him for playing mine, that he's just like, well, okay. It's like, well, all right,
It's like, but I'm having a good time. It's like, okay. Attaboy. Speaking of how good Gamma is...
Takaiku, thank you for the 11,000 channel points to vote for Dragon Link. I hope it was worth it. Jesus Christ, you all don't have faith in Lich.
I want to say, because we talked about Gamma being good, the real reason it's good is it not only does it negate, it removes the card off the field, and this is just, this and last format were just the format of, man, I hope they don't have an extender, particularly with Infernoble, Dragon Link. Like, man, I really hope they don't have an extender. Ghost Ogre and Gamma remove the card, which actually is huge.
You get to, and Tactical Talents is the follow-up to the Veiler on the Romulus. This is so painful, dude. This is like everything that could go wrong, going wrong. Like in sequence.
Yeah, pretty much. By the way, Chad,
we all confiscating.
Know All by the Grave goes to 1. You're just gonna have to pony up if you want to win. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to buy 3 copies of 3-Tech, and I'm sorry.
I mean, you kind of are. Like
you are. Like I'm not even. It's not a bit.
I mean, one of the frustrating things about like negating the effect of a Romulus, okay, fine, just preserve your life total a little bit and potentially get to an Eldritch over the course of a couple turns. One of the frustrating things about Romulus is if you don't remove it, it can just turn into a Link Cross in certain scenarios, and that's just as bad.
They're gonna draw a tuner because this is how this format goes.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
Now,
even better. Even better. Okay.
actually, may I introduce to you what's behind door number 2?
2-to-1 guarded ratio. Of course, they draw the right one. Let's go for the Dragoon. I mean, I don't think you can be really mad about this if you're a Burrito Man. You've drawn like a god this entire set.
All right, now you want to get your engine going here. Link into Verte and send the other ref.
Ooh, now
Can't do that, but
Yeah, that's actually not legal. Yeah. No negates, but it's very hard to get rid of. I mean, so there you got that going for you.
yeah, it's Dragon Link after all. Well, now let's take a look here because they did use Collapser, but nope, they also committed Wyver Busters, so they're a little bit out of stuff.
There's a
but
possibility that they're out of all the relevant stuff. They only have Striker and Romulus in the graveyard, so pretty much all the extra deck is still available, but it could happen.
I would be pretty surprised.
Pokemon.
Dragon Link is
The problem is you have 4 cards.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Well,
Rocket,
there it is.
Nocto Vision, Quick Launch, anything, Bueller, like.
All right, so
I got combo now, I think. Now remember, as Burrito Man has told me throughout the day, I'm not a combo player. So we'll see if they can work this one out.
Yeah, this is a little difficult. Now you have to play around the Dragoon stare.
Yes. True. Now, which at this point they can just do by like making Boral Salve, but here we go. You might as well. This is just so much better.
All right, Phalanx time. I like that Phalanx is, or that Halqifibrax is also Romulus. Like Romulus gets Divine Lance into Phalanx, but also Halq gets Phalanx. It just doesn't matter. All these cards are the same card. You know, when they inevitably ban Halqifibrax, Isolde and Romulus will be doing the same stupid bullshit until they hit every tuner that's ever been printed.
Yeah. Which, you know, it gets tough too because with COVID, we're not getting real Yu-Gi-Oh! Until, let me check my watch here, 2029. So that's also going to make things quite difficult.
Yeah, I just
in
have
America,
never on mine.
EU's going to have to hard carry to get these cards banned.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen first? Link monsters in Duel Links or COVID ends?
Depends on which area. In America, links and Duel Links.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I work in retail.
Yeah, and I know you're doing your part to spread it. I'm sure.
Only to some.
Yeah, only to the LP players.
Yeah, I think Ozlapisky is really funny, so I have no qualms.
That was funny. Sending the Herald to the graveyard.
It's funny because like this combo by all means works, but in my back of my head, I was thinking, okay, yeah, you Halq, you get Red Rose, you link down, you make Herald, you get the White Rose, you do your thing. But no, yeah, you have all these other lines you can go to.
All right, here comes Pisty. We'll fire off the Pisty.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people, as the ban list tends to do, a lot of arguments. They're thinking, well, Dragon Link got hit by Red MD errata, and I'm thinking, oh, totally. Red MD is nowhere even near the combo. It's just an extender like this.
It was insane to me watching the reactions to the ban list and hearing, well, we've got Red MD errata and we've got Called by the Grave to 1. So that's like a suitable hit. It's like, you can't be serious. You can't. You have to be joking.
It's like, this is a bit, right? I'll laugh. I promise.
Ha 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 ha. No, come on. All right. Out comes Tracer once again. Burrito Man says, I thought Dragon Link was dead. And here he is in finals.
Again, Burrito Man, a good player, understands crowdsourcing, and everyone told him, no. Play this build. You'll do fine. Then he probably played 1 million games in the hyperbolic time chamber, and here we are. Practice, kid. Practice makes perfect. If you're wondering why you're not winning at Yu-Gi-Oh!, just play a lot more and clear your mind.
Yeah. So we've made it. This is Borreload Savage. We've got Pisty. We've got Gristy. We've got Borreload Boral Bungus. And this is, that's it. That's the end of the game.
Gotta be, 45. You're taking another 32 and a half. Yeah, see ya.
And shockingly, Dragoon of Red Eyes Falls, we've now got at least one deck in the finals that is not playing any copies of Dragoon, and a significant chance that we get 2. Provided that Orchist loses. That's really something.
Those 2 are in game, so
we can jump there after this, yeah.
How to beat Dragoon? Punch. That's how I beat Halq.
Wow. And so that's going to be that. Burrito Man 93 moving on to finals. And folks, we only have one more game of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series before we crown the 9th and first of this format champion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. I'm Alex Simo, and this is the 9th Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series finals. We've been through a lot here today, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen the good, the bad, and the Mystic Mine. And right by my side throughout all of it, commentating for the entirety of Top Cut and doing a ton of work behind the scenes is Mr. MamboYGO. How are you doing today, Jacob Felicio?
I'm doing quite well. Actually, I prefer to go by my government name, Alex Simo, but with more O's.
Okay, well, I'm very happy you're here with me, and I'm very happy we get to see this match between Shine 55 and Burrito Man, 93. Let's not do that. Burrito Man 93 is on Dragon Link, the deck that received no hits whatsoever on this most recent ban list. A deck that many people were already speculating was one of the best, if not the best deck. Playing against Orchest, a deck that received maybe the largest buff any deck has ever received in the history of time. Going from no copies of Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish to one copy of Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish. Something that has propelled Shine throughout the entirety of this tournament. Occasionally, though, they have pivoted into our big purple dingus of a friend who has just been absolutely everywhere.
When I sleep, I see him.
He is in my dreams. He is in our hearts. And he's going to be on the field pretty shortly, I think.
This does appear to be full combo.
Yeah. So
I just see Recycler, so I assume.
You'll notice we went from Recycler into Brass Bombard here, not willing to commit to the absolutely ludicrous Scrap Wyvern line that Shine has deployed a ton of times over the course of this tournament. But what they've shown us over the course of different rounds is they know when to make what they want. They know when to go from starters like Scrap Recycler into B-list lines to end on what is most effective against their opponent. Here they've decided that's going to be a Ding in the Graveyard and a Dragoon on the field, and I can't fault them. That is a hell of a setup.
Yeah, it's interesting how many different lines there appear to be, because every single time we... Oh boy, that was both out of hand.
That was one out of hand, I believe.
Every time we've seen this deck, they manage to go to a different end port.
Yeah, one thing that's really powerful about Orchest in particular is its adaptability. It just has such a fantastic slew of different setups, and it has the ability to go both first or second, depending on the matchup. Against a deck like Dragon Link, though, you got to imagine you don't want to give your opponent the ability to set up relatively unencumbered.
Definitely not. And it's a shame, too, because we know that Burrito's on Nibiru, Gamma, good cards.
Yeah, what's different about Burrito's Dragon Link list, completely different than most of the Dragon Link lists that were in this tournament, is that he's playing, I think, between 9 and 12 hand traps main, which is kind of unheard of for this deck whose philosophy has largely been, you know what, they'll set up what they set up, I'll get through it. And it obviously has paid off massively. It turns out that understanding that it is unlikely you're going to be able to beat Dragoon setups is pivotal to winning games. Going for the Chaos Space here, and God, I hate this card.
Yes, the Chaos Dragon Search card.
Okay, I have actually figured out why they didn't go for the Scrap Wyvern line. There's the fridge. It has been in the hand of Shine 55 all tournament. I think every single time we featured them in one of the games it's been in the opener. Most recently, they tribute summoned it and attacked for 3 turns in a row against a mekk-knight opponent, I believe.
What's impressive is this was 3 bricks, and here we are.
3 bricks. We have a Dingirsu. We have a Dragoon. Now, only the Ding is still online, but still.
Which should be good enough, I think, given the current board state. You're in a bit of a pickle here because you have 1 card in hand, and Romulus is a very big choke point.
Yeah. Romulus is kind of telegraphed here is the very slight difference. It can only go for Dragoonity Divine Lance, given that the Dragon Ravine is already on field. So they might pivot to something else, but no, it looks like we are going for Romulus. We're going to fire it off. I think that's likely to resolve. And whether it stays on the field much longer is going to be a different question.
I'll eat my hat if it's the 1-of called by the Graven Hand.
Let's see it. How many cards in deck? 45? Oh, yep, going for it now. Says, yeah, make whatever you want. We'll see.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I assume their list is a little bit fatter at 50 cards because of the fact that they're shoving in more hand traps. But similar to those really old Orcus lists that would just play like 48 good dark attribute monsters, you can just do that because they all are just good cards.
The deck is all extenders, and here's another one. Boot Sector Launch. Dragoonity Divine Lance, the last card in the grip. So it looks like we're probably only going to be able to go onto a Tracer. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I missed the Recharger.
I always forget about how good Boot Sector's second effect is, huh?
I missed the Recharger. I was like, we're just what? Gonna go into a Borreload Savage? We've got this. Oh, God. Recharger was in there, too. Okay, whew.
Oh.
All right, that set card's got to be pretty dope. It's got to be Forbidden Droplet, exactly. There it is. And with the Halqifibrax negated and the Dragoonity Divine Lance, the last card in hand, I think we know how this game is going to end up.
And as per usual, turn 3.
That's Orcust, baby. That's Orcust, baby. And a pass back, that's going to be it. Oh my god. And you even know that it's it because Dragoon of Red Eyes can destroy cards on field and burn your opponent and then attack afterwards for some ungodly reason. Whoop.
What do you have? That doesn't matter.
I'm just going to negate it. It's Martial Metal Marcher, I guess? Does that work? Is Martial Metal Marcher a tuner synchro?
Yeah. Does it become a tuner off its effect, or is it a raw tuner? I actually don't remember now.
Well, regardless, it doesn't matter. By negating that effect, we are going to be able to win the game. And Orcust is now one game away from victory. One of the massive, massive upsides to Orcust is that it has so many options for going both first and second. It's not like those other decks where you win the die roll and then you get to go, oh, great. I mean, I'm going first for game 3, so I can lose game 2. You have to claw for your life in literally every match of a set versus this deck.
Here we go. CWS 9 Grand Final Speed Run.
There has been a faster one. The one where I think it was actually Mount Fuji's. Or no, it was Rycape's, where they were on like the Scars list and they hit Depressionist in finals and lost in under 5 minutes. It was like they bricked twice and just died.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
I think Depressionist was on Dragon Link, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they were on Combo Eld back in those days.
Never mind then. God, remember Combo Eld? It was a whole round ago.
Yep. Very much alive. My favorite part about the format was me being black-pilled out of my mind about it and then going into every Discord ever and just being like, honestly, I think Infernoble and Combo Eld aren't even dead yet. And I was like, yeah, well.
Cool. Love that this list changed nothing but taking out Emancipator out of the format. I do appreciate that it's gone. Oh, and Megalith. Can't forget Megalith, another fun deck that we'll never get to play again.
Shout out to Lungerdy and Brightcape.
I think they're workshopping a new version, but I don't believe it.
I know that Brightcape entered with my list of AirPods Dragoon, and I think went 0-2. Sorry, bud. My bad.
Who could have
I thought the list was good.
All right, last poll. Orchestra Dragon Link, who's winning finals? Remember, you can pay real money to vote, just like in real life. I don't know why you would. All right, so Burrito Man 93 gets to go first, and again is firing off that Dragon's Ravine found in the opener with a triple tactical talents. I mean, that's got to telegraph you've got a second one, huh?
It's either that or this hand is so insanely gassed up that they're just like, I don't even need this.
All right, we're going to go from Tracer into Striker, or maybe we'll fire the Tracer effect. I don't know. All right, Striker Dragon it is.
Okay. Oh, I was about to say, Shine has been particularly adept at opening hand traps, but so far, so good. To be fair, I get raw hand trapping the Striker Dragon is more often than not incorrect.
We saw Shine do it in a previous match, and it won them the game because they had the Infip for the Striker and the Veiler for the Romulus. All right, Romulus, a decent enough choke point. If you've got like a Gamma or something, it's chain blocked by the Wiverbuster.
Very good.
Happy that you can do this, of course. All right, there's the Divine Lance in hand.
I will say
Typhoon.
one impressive thing we've seen with Burrito is I don't think they've ever fully resolved the combo in like won any game we've seen in this top 8 without
Yeah.
interruption. So I'm
Yep.
actually a little excited to see them maybe get to go through this uninterrupted.
Yeah, we have not yet seen Divine Lance resolve on camera at all today. We've been watching Dragon Link like for the last 6 rounds.
Yeah. So shout outs to Burrito Man, who is again not a combo player.
Now, it is possible that there is a Nibiru in the hand, and if that's the case, you would probably want to do it right before they can go into Herald of the Arclight. So if you're a little greedy, you can wait until they go to Marshall here, or you can, just assume that they're going to do it right now. But in a couple of steps further through the combo, it's going to become apparent whether or not Shine is bluffing or just literally has nothing. And if they literally have nothing, it is going to be the end of the game for them.
I got a bad feeling about this one, Scoop.
Join me,
Never mind.
Scoop. Alright, out comes Crystron Halka Fibrax. What is it summoning from the deck? Dang, Crystron Halka Fibrax, what will it summon?
Oh.
And Infip really late. I like that. And now they're kind of locked on this extremely weird board state.
Not bad, because now you're in this awkward spot where, because normally you'd want to go for Red Rose there.
Mm-hmm.
So well played, but hey, those Chaos Dragon cards are pretty good.
I hear they're all right. You get to go from White Wyvern into Black Dragon here. We get to go into Pisty. We can go LP, Pisty, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Striker Dragon instead to ensure the LP resolves. And what are we getting? Brotar. Brotar is going to trigger targeting a Dark Dragon, and I think we are going to see our good pal Levianeer added to hand. Dragon Link, after losing game 1, has won the audience poll. Someone spent 18 cents. Thank you. I don't know why you would.
What are you going to do now? Back in my day, no, I'm just kidding. But
out comes Buster Whelp. We can go from here into Pisty. We still have 2 zones thanks to our good friend Striker Dragon.
I actually wonder which build of Dragon Link they're on because there's 7 different variants, each better than the last.
Yeah.
Smoke Grenade build, FTK build. It's definitely not the FTK build, I'd say, from what I've seen.
I don't think we've seen a Smoke Grenade in Burrito's list yet.
The Dragoon build, you got options.
It would be nice if they weren't playing any of that. Like, no Smoke Grenade, no Dragoon, just heads up Dragon Link.
Moral Sword Pass.
Yeah, playing a bunch of, like... Do you remember back when this deck would make Borreload Savage Unchained Abomination pass?
Yeah.
God, that was
so bad.
And people played it. They were like, yeah, I want to play this. It makes A-Bomb pass.
It's fine.
It's broken. It was like... like Adam Emancipator was legal, and they were like, I want to make A-Bomb pass. Broken. Yeah, and that won a UDS.
And then that one dude said, but I can just, kill them in 1 turn. Well, 1.5 turns. It's the Ozlapiscu FTK is like a pseudo FTK.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything. There isn't a whole lot of interaction.
Yeah, this is, it didn't look like the Infip did too much, but basically it's reduced this board to the Kieran and an extremely loaded up, admittedly, copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. Still could happen, Orcust plays a ton of bullshit like this, exactly.
Oh, that is your negate.
Hey, what if you negate this and then you respond with Forbidden Droplets? Damn, wouldn't that be cool?
Cards. Their they have more value on getting rid of that Buster Lock.
Yep. Hey, what did I say? What did I say? Forbidden Droplet the response. Oh man, that's just it. Oh my god, discarded 2. Oh god. Okay, they actually may not have this. I mean,
it's
got to be like Scrap Recycler.
That's the card it has.
I cannot believe this.
That's actually the perfect card too, because you're going second. So Forbidden.
No bricks in the opener. I mean, Climax in the opener, of course, but nothing that screws up this particular line. Drew, Scrap Recycler, Lightning Storm, Forbidden Droplet, Infip. Good luck, anything. Why would they not destroy monsters? Who cares about these monsters? Who cares about them? They're nothing.
It's actually a better play to not, because that way you get rid of, it wasn't impermanence, so you get rid of something like impermanence or droplets, because now you get this handy little card called Scrap Wyvern. Very good card, as it's about to remove one of these guys on the board.
What I like about Scrap Wyvern is that it's broken. I think it's really good. So that effect is going to be negated, but we are going to get the effect to summon from deck. And maybe there's something that stops this? Could be like a
Goliath?
like a like a sloth? Like
yes. Which is like just more or less delaying the inevitable.
It could be usually they get Brotar. Ether, says chat. Ether would be good. Yeah. Black Metal Dragon does not do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not much. Well, actually, it's funny. Rosenix is better than Jet Synchron in this case because they did not have a hand.
Yeah, see? It actually was a buff to Orcus that they banned Jet Synchron. We're activating Scrap Wyvern for the second time this turn. I think we're going to send a card that enables us to get a world in Graveyard. Oh, we're not even messing with Lib. Why even mess with Lib? We've got lethal a million ways anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of like you try to think about their line of play, and it's like it doesn't matter. They can do it. They have the world to them right now. They can end on any line of play at this point.
We could make Borreload. We could pretend, or Boral Sword. We could pretend it's 2018. Relive Toss format. Burrito Man says GG's, and I think we're about to see either the surrender or, the functional surrender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dingirsu 2. Just going to play it safe and make sure they pick up every card on the board.
Don't worry, says Shine. I got it. All right, we're going to activate Galatea. We'll get Babel because, as you saw, we already sent the climax to the graveyard. Boy, we could end all of this with a Gizmek, too. Really cool, really fun, really awesome. I have not missed this. I have learned over the course of this tournament. I didn't miss this at all.
And, not to just bring it back up and start just going on a rant here, but yeah, Forbidden Droplet, really good card design. Oh, man, that is excellent.
Oh, yeah. Especially in a deck that actually wants their hand in the graveyard.
Oh, yeah, there was... Nothing could possibly have gone through their heads designing that.
You're like, I don't understand how... You're like, actually, nothing...
Yeah,
no, there's no...
I was going to go for a bit, but then I just got mad.
Is this lethal, actually? Does this end the game?
1K. You're actually about an awkward... Well, wait, is there a symbol engrave?
There is, but we've activated Verte.
Good point. You're actually short by like 500, I think.
Yeah, I might be missing something.
400? Yeah.
It looks like
66.
We're 400 off.
Nightmare? Have they used Nightmare?
They have used Nightmare. This Dragoon isn't on. Yeah. They literally had lethal on board.
They do not have... They do have Ding loaded with Nightmare and Graveyard, so they have access to Ding.
Maybe they know something I don't.
This may have just been their safest play all around. Like, maybe they just didn't quite have enough extenders. Though...
I guess we don't know if they're playing Boral Sword. That is a reasonable cut, I assume. We'll go to the end phase, and if Burrito draws like a Chaos Dragon, they've already drawn them. They have to draw like a normal summonable dragon monster, but even then it's a tall order.
I think they can get a draw here if they use Chaos Space. They have not used Chaos Space. That was the last game.
Yeah, I think the Ding is probably going to be enough, even so.
Yeah, I'd be stunned otherwise. Trying to rack my brain. TTT, Steel Dragoon.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That's a good draw. No.
You just make the anima.
Well, out comes the Metal Dragon, and down comes the Ding, I expect.
Yeah. Might have missed the window there, because that Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is an ignition. Or maybe they're just holding it. They haven't even used the Nightmare yet to actually bury the card. What is it called? Symbol
Symbol
skeleton.
skeleton? Oh yeah, we're way behind. Huh.
Always changes. Yeah. See.
He declared priority. Ah, yes.
I forgot
That was it.
MR2.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout outs to Master Rule 2. I was around for it.
How was it? Would you recommend us going back to priority for scenarios like this?
My first local ever, I got wind up hand looped.
Hey, that's
No.
and you kept playing Yu-Gi-Oh for decades?
I'm a Pokemon streamer. It's chill.
Yeah. How's Pokemon these days?
It's pretty good, actually. I'm having fun.
Oh man.
Yes, another caveat of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing on DB and my opponent's been sitting here for 15 minutes and is lagging. Yes.
All right. Burrito Man says GG's. I do think this is actually GG's. It has to be in the EMZ to actually use its effect.
Sadly, yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Orchest Format 2! Oh, wow.
It's what happens when you put a whole bunch of graveyard effects and have a card that says, yeah, they're just all quick effects now.
Yeah, I am excited. I'm excited for this upcoming format. Ideally, there will be a little less Orchest and Dragon Link and a little more bad decks playing Dragoon. I am reversing my earlier stance. I think that is actually no longer cringe. It is actually very cool. And Shine doing everything they can to prevent their opponent from losing this game on their own turn.
You gotta get style points for the bot. No one will think you're cool if you just let them swing into your Dragoon.
Yeah, of course.
You gotta make them redeclare and swing into Verte because it's funnier. Attack the fridge.
That's actually probably correct. The fridge of the Verte Anaconda, I think, are the good hits. What do you think is the most optimal hit here?
If Orchest format is so good, why isn't there an Orchest format 5 yet?
Why are you all saying Orchest format 4? We're still in Orchest format 1, baby. It never ended.
Just ask Nim. He'll pop your ear off about it.
Yeah. Oh man, he is gonna lose his mind over this. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's it. Your YCS number 9 champion is Shine55 on Orchest. Orchest is back, baby, in a big way, thanks to Dragoon and Rusty Bardish and a bunch of cards that they got unbanned and a bunch of different cards that got banned and a bunch of really powerful going second options that put cards from your hand into the graveyard. Chat, I think it's time we start taking this deck seriously.